When Emily looked me in the eyes one evening and said, "John, I think I just need some space," I felt my entire world tilt sideways. We had been married for 7 years, and while we'd had our share of arguments, I never thought we were close to this kind of conversation. Her tone was detached, almost rehearsed, as if she had been preparing those words for weeks. I asked her what she meant by space. Was she overwhelmed with work? Did she need time alone? Or was there something she wasn't telling me? Emily sighed, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, and replied, "It's nothing about you. I just feel like I need time to figure myself out." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to trust that this was about her personal struggles, maybe stress from her job at the design firm. But in the back of my mind, a seed of doubt was planted. Over the following weeks, she became more distant. She started working late more often, her phone always glued to her hand, and she avoided intimacy with excuses that felt colder with every passing day. At first, I convinced myself it was just a phase. I cooked her favorite meals, suggested we go on a weekend trip, even planned little surprises the way I used to when we were dating. But her responses were lukewarm, polite at best, and I could see the spark in her eyes had shifted. Not towards me, but away from me. The truth started to unravel one Saturday morning. Emily had stepped into the shower, leaving her phone charging on the nightstand. A notification lit up the screen, and though I had never been the kind of man to snoop, something inside me whispered to look. The name flashing on the screen froze me. Ethan. Ethan was her ex-boyfriend from college, the one she had always described as a toxic mistake she was grateful to have escaped. They had broken up years before she met me, and I never thought of him as a threat. But now, seeing his name appear with a message preview, "I can't wait to see you again," felt like a punch to the gut. I remember staring at that screen, my heart pounding. Emily emerged from the bathroom, humming casually, completely unaware of what I had just seen. That was the moment I realized. Her request for space had nothing to do with self-reflection. It had everything to do with Ethan returning into her life. That day changed everything for me. I didn't confront Emily right away. Instead, I decided to observe, to gather the truth without her sugar-coated explanations. I noticed how often she smiled at her phone, how quickly she would tilt the screen away if I walked into the room, and how suddenly her work meetings became more frequent. Every sign confirmed what my heart already feared. Ethan was back, and she was letting him back into her world. One evening, I suggested we have dinner together, just the two of us. She agreed reluctantly, but the entire time her eyes kept darting toward her phone, buzzing silently in her purse. I asked her directly, "Emily, are you seeing someone else?" She froze for just a fraction of a second, then laughed it off. "John, you're being paranoid. I told you, I just need space. That doesn't mean I don't love you." But her words rang hollow. The warmth, the honesty I once trusted, was gone. I left that dinner feeling emptier than ever. The confirmation came a week later. I had to attend a late client meeting, and when I returned home earlier than expected, Emily wasn't there. Her car wasn't in the driveway. Something told me to wait. An hour later, headlights appeared. I peered through the window and saw her step out of the car, but she wasn't alone. Ethan was in the driver's seat, smiling at her in the way a man smiles when he knows he has reclaimed what he once lost. Emily kissed him on the cheek before slipping inside, her face glowing with an energy I hadn't seen directed at me in years. She didn't know I had seen. She didn't know her carefully crafted lie about space had crumbled before my eyes. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Rage burned in my chest, but beneath it, a deep sadness settled. How could the woman I had built a life with betray me so easily? All those years of sacrifices, late nights working to provide, planning a future together. It all meant nothing to her once Ethan resurfaced. Instead of confronting her in anger, I chose patience. I wanted her to reveal her true self, to admit the betrayal she was trying to mask as self-discovery. And sure enough, just days later she did. Emily sat me down in the living room, her voice trembling but her words rehearsed. "John, I think we should take a break from each other. I don't feel the same way anymore, and I need to follow my heart." She didn't say Ethan's name, but I heard it loud and clear in every syllable. Her words cut deeper than any knife. "I need to follow my heart," she had said, but we both knew where her heart had wandered. I sat there in silence, letting her excuses echo around the room. For years, I had been her partner, her supporter, her safe place. And now, she was tossing it all away for a man who had once abandoned her. I looked her in the eyes and asked calmly, "And is Ethan worth destroying everything we built together?" Her face went pale. She hadn't expected me to know. She stammered, "I don't know what you're talking about." But I could see the panic in her eyes, the way her composure cracked. I told her about the messages, the night I saw her in his car, the kiss I witnessed. She went silent, her lies cornered by the truth. For a moment, I thought she might apologize, that she would break down and admit her mistake. But instead she hardened. "Maybe this marriage was never right for me," she whispered coldly. That was the last thread snapping. I realized then that the woman sitting in front of me wasn't the Emily I married. That Emily, the one who promised loyalty, who dreamed of a future together, was gone the moment Ethan walked back into her life. So I stood up, calm but resolute. "If you need space, Emily, I'll give you all the space in the world. Don't worry about me holding you back." I walked away, leaving her staring, speechless, on the couch. Over the following weeks, the truth unfolded even further. Friends began telling me they had seen Emily and Ethan together in town, laughing like teenagers. She didn't even hide it anymore. She thought I would fall apart, beg her to come back. But instead, I focused on myself. I poured my energy into my career, into rebuilding a life that wasn't tied to her betrayal. Months later, I heard that Ethan had grown distant again, slipping into the same patterns that once made Emily call him toxic. She had gambled our marriage for him, and now she was left with nothing but regret. I didn't gloat, I didn't seek revenge, I didn't need to. Watching her destroy herself was proof enough that karma had done its work. As for me, I realized betrayal doesn't define who you are, it only reveals who they are. And while Emily lost everything chasing a past mistake, I gained clarity, strength, and a future free from lies. Her request for space was never about self-discovery. It was about making room for Ethan. But in the end, she gave me something better than space. She gave me freedom.